Hello there. In this tutorial you'll learn how to handle refueling a 737 MAX 8. Refueling an aircraft is one of the most dangerous tasks performed on an airport's apron. The hazard of fire, spills and other dangers are high, so you must follow many safety rules. But don't worry, I will explain everything to you. An aircraft is standing at the stand, with a planned departure very soon. Your task is to refuel the appropriate amount of fuel and ensure that the tanks are properly balanced. Get into the tanker truck and drive it to the vicinity of the indicated aircraft. Remember, under no circumstances should you turn off the engine in the tanker when refueling. There is an important reason for this, namely, in the event of a fire, you must quickly move the tanker away from the aircraft and the terminal to prevent a potential disaster. Okay, jump out of the cab and then open the door to the tanker's fuel compartment. Now you'll need to protect yourself and the aircraft from possible sparks by connecting the grounding cable. Grab the grounding cable on the left side of the container. To connect the grounding cable, go to the aircraft's rear wheel and follow the actions displayed on the screen. Then open the flap on the aircraft wing to prepare for connecting the fuel hose. Approach the tanker, grab the fuel hose and pull it under the wing and connect it to the inlet. Great. Now check the tablet for the amount of fuel you'll need to refuel the aircraft. Go to the Operations tab. Select the aircraft that you need to refuel. In the task table, you will see the amount of fuel you need to refuel. Then go to the aircraft's refueling panel. Okay, now I'll explain how to operate the fuel panel. The panel is divided into 3 columns and 3 rows, where each is assigned to its corresponding fuel tank. Tanks 1 and 2 are wing tanks, and the center tank is, as the name suggests, in the center of the aircraft between the wings. In the first row, you'll find bulbs that illuminate when the valves are open. In the second row, there are valve switches which can be set to open and closed. The third row contains the fuel quantity selector dial, the current fuel level indicator, and the target fuel level in kilograms. Since you already have the panel explained, we'll now focus on the refueling process itself. You must distribute the amount of fuel indicated on the tablet between the 3 fuel tanks of the aircraft. The fuel tanks in the aircraft are located inside the wings and in the central tank. First, you refuel the wing tanks, and then you refuel the remaining amount of fuel to the central tank. You'll need to calculate how to distribute the fuel between the tanks. Each wing holds 3.9 tons of fuel, and the central tank holds 13.1 tons. To select the amount of fuel, toggle the right side of the switch. To stop, toggle the left side of the switch. The third row you'll need to calculate how to distribute the fuel between the tanks. To select the third row, to select the amount of fuel, you'll need to calculate how to distribute the fuel. Great. Now open to Great. Now open the valves in the wing tanks. To exit the panel view, press the button displayed on screen. Now we only need to start the pump in the tanker by pulling the first lever from the left. You don't have to worry about overfilling, as it has an automatic fuel flow blocking system that will stop when the selected value on the computer is reached. Once the computer blocks the flow, you'll need to manually secure the valve by switching the switch to the closed position. Then open the valve for the central tank to refuel it. When finished, do the same with the other tanks and set the switch to the closed position. valve for the central tank to refuel it. When finished, do the same with the other tanks and set the switch to the closed position. Great! Approach the tanker and turn off the fuel pump. Now disconnect the hose from the aircraft and return it to the tanker. Then disconnect the grounding cable, close the panel flap on the aircraft's wing and close the flap on the tanker. To confirm that you have completed the task, use the communication panel. Open it by performing the action displayed on screen. After opening it, select the Flight Crew tab, then Fuel, and finally, Confirm Refueling. Great! Now you can refuel a 737 MAX 8 aircraft. You will be able to do this task on your own during work. Just remember to move the tanker to a safe location after refueling. Until next time.